Introduce yourself and tell us what you do, please.
My name is Margaret Muthii. I'm an advocate of the High Court of Kenya. I got admitted in the year 2018. So this year should be I'm entering my 4th year in practice.
And what made you choose to be an advocate?
I think circumstances. There was nothing, I would say, because I was good in school in theory. So I thought that was the only course I would do. I would not lie, it was because of any sort of passion or anything. But I just found myself when I went to school, I just fell in love with the legal with the legal education and now practice after when I joined practice.
And what training and skills are crucial in your line of work?
You just have to pass in your languages, in English and Kiswahili. That's the only thing they require in Kenya.
And as an advocate, what do you think people misunderstand or misinterpret about being an advocate in Kenya?
They think that once they hire an advocate, that you are a magician. Sometimes they think that you are supposed to make their legal problems go away. They don't appreciate that what you do is just give legal advice, and you can't determine the outcome of a case or the outcome of a situation because you're just a consultant.
Are there expectations that you had back then that you found they are different from the reality of being an advocate?
I would say there's always these expectations that you're going to get out, practice, meet clients will pay you understand? Yeah. But then you get into the legal profession, you find even getting that one client, it's a lot of effort that you have to put in. And even getting that paycheck, it's effort that you have to put in. Number two, I did not think that I think I underestimated the number of hours that you need to put in the work, because it's a lot.
And when you say a lot, does that affect your family life and social life?
Definitely, yeah, because sometimes you take work at home, sometimes you're working during weekends, during public holidays,
Yeah. And what do you wish would improve in your job as an advocate?
I think what would really help us is if LSK is lenient on their marketing laws, because they're very stringent. Like for example, you can't put up a billboard, you can't have TV ads, It really limits, because now you are left to, referrals most of the time. And now one-on-one marketing, like sending emails, updating on Facebook, but you can't go large scale. I think that should change and we should move with time. I also think LSK should really work on targeting the lawyers who undercut, and also those lawyers also those people who masquerade to be advocates and they're not, because they really injure how you even bill clients.
And what pressures do you encounter every day in your job?
Mostly, being a woman, definitely there's bias. Because most people don't have confidence. I don't know why. That you being a woman, you'll be able to represent them to the best of. And then the other thing would be client expecting instant results. Not having regard for the system. You understand? Like for example, it's unfair for you to expect for a case to be filed today and you have the determination in 2 months. Because there's the court's diary. The other things that come up, like for example, the court is not sitting. You see, it's something that is not on it, that has nothing to do with your legal counsel. But most clients interpret it like you are not doing your work. You understand?
Yes.
I just hope people could understand how the practice of the law is related to other agencies.
And what is your typical day or week like?
I would say it depends. It depends, because I follow my diary, because I would say it depends. If I have court, of course, court takes precedence. Because it's on a specific time. But mostly now after court, I'll go now do office work. Like mostly when I have appointments, I like to take them in the afternoon.
And what inspires you about your job, being an advocate?
Solving people's problems. I would say that every time that I help a client and they're able to get help, because I don't do criminal, so I'm a civil lawyer in terms of court practice.
Yeah.
And conveyancing and commercial lawyer. I don't do criminal, so I wouldn't say justice per se. Yeah. But even in civil matters, when a client gets the help that they hope that they would get, or get the determination that they hope they would get in court, that makes me happy.
Mm-hmm. And now that you have practiced law for a few years, what growth opportunities do you think are there?
There's a lot of opportunity right now in real estate, in IP law, intellectual property, because in oil and gas, because these are very new areas that are coming up.
Yeah.
And I think that there's a lot of opportunity for people who are coming into the law and who are open to learn new things, you know.
Yeah. And have you ever considered changing your profession?
No.
You like being a lawyer?
Yes.
What is the difference between a lawyer and an advocate?
Actually, in Kenya, there's nothing like a lawyer.
Yeah.
The term we use is advocate.
Okay.
I know it has been said that once you have a law degree, you're a lawyer, but honestly, you're still a student.
Yeah.
That is the Kenyan law. Once you get admitted into the bar, you become an advocate of the High Court of Kenya. Because it's like in America. In America, you see they use the name attorney.
Yes.
Yes. You see now, when once you get admitted in Kenya, you are referred to as the advocate of the High Court of Kenya. There's nothing like a lawyer, in legally speaking.
Nice. And what do you know now that you wish you knew earlier, or you wish somebody who wants to join your field of work knows now sooner rather than later?
For me, it would be identify what you want to do, and start early. Like, for example, let me elaborate. If you figure out when you're learning, it doesn't come easy for most people, but once you figure out maybe you want to go corporate, don't waste time working for a law firm. Start doing internships in your line of work. You understand?
Yes.
If you figure out you want to practice law as an in-house counsel in a company, do that. Look for those companies, go and intern. If you know you want to do consulting, start interning for those firms. If you know you want to work in a law firm, start working at law firms. Don't start working at law firms, then you want to go to corporate, because once you find your niche, you'll go far.
And what are some of the best memories you have had in your line of work?
Having been, because of confidentiality, I can't discuss.
Tell me, what's the best compliment you've had in your line of work?
Just a client appreciating you and being grateful that you helped them solve a problem that they had.
And how has the pandemic affected your work?
We are still recovering, but it has really slowed business. It has slowed business in a big way, because you see, even most corporates are still recovering. You see.
Yes.
Even if you're in retainer, even being paid the legal fees, it's taking time. But we are still recovering, but we are getting there. I would say financially, mostly.
How do you think being an advocate impacts the society?
I would say, it helps to have somebody who understands what the law says. Yeah. Because you see, the law is very specific. Yeah. And that we interpret. Yeah. In court, it's also good because it informs. Yeah. It informs its interpretation and the practice of the law. Because even if you go to your area chief, there are things that your area chief would miss. You understand? Yes. It is always good to have a legal. It's like having a doctor. It's always good to have somebody who can diagnose where exactly you're suffering from. Similarly, with an advocate, it's always good to have somebody who can identify whatever problem you're facing from a legal point of view.
And do you think mentors are important
when legal question?
Yes,
absolutely. I would say most lawyers, mostly we have learned from our seniors.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any lawyer who can lie that they have not been mentored by somebody somewhere, because in KSL, before now you get admitted, you have to go for pupillage. Yeah. It's like an internship. It's like it's like a 6 months internship where you are under an advocate who has at least 5 years in practice, who teaches you the practice of the law. It's important.
And let me, and yes, as your mentor, there are mentors who have like some like shortcuts, some have things that you disagree with. Maybe you are like, that doesn't sit well with me. Do you think that can change the kind of advocate? Sorry.
I would say no, because what I have learned over the years is like it's if you have integrity or you don't, there's no in between. Yeah. No, you can't say that you are a small thief and the other one is a big thief. You understand? Yeah. It's either you lack integrity or you have integrity. There's no in between. And I don't think somebody, but by the time you're going for internship, for pupillage, you are 25, 26. Yeah. So I don't think at that time anybody can change who you are.
Yeah. Anything that you would like to enlighten people about being an advocate or joining the field, challenges, opportunities, anything you want to tell somebody who wants to join or already in that field?
What I would say, you have to put in the work. You have to put in the work, because even now practicing is one thing, but retaining people who want to work with you is another thing. You have to put in the work. You have to be conscious about how you treat client, how accountable you are, what kind of a communicator you are. You have to work on being a very good communicator. You just have to put in the work. There's no two way. You have to be comfortable with putting in the hours and reading, Yeah. There's no shortcut. You have to put in. Let me just say, maybe for most advocates, I'm sure their social life suffers a little bit because you're always working most of the time.
And how about yours, family life?
No, I think luckily I'm able to balance because I don't work that far from the office. So I'm able to balance. Again, that's another thing that formed now where I started my practice, because I needed to be near the house.
And there is this thing, some of us who don't practice law, we have watched a lot of law series, Suits, Judge Judy. And with that, by the time I come to you, in my mind, I'm like, I can do this. What do you need to advise people about the difference between what they watch on TV and then what really happens in the real world and what to expect?
You see, what is in TV is just a script. But you see, in real world, you are dealing with real life, real people, and real situations. You understand?
Yeah.
There's a lot of work that goes into, and then, okay, let me just take you back. Whatever TV shows you watch,
yeah,
sometimes they may or may not have legal consultants in the show.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yes. Yeah.
Just a script, and laws are specific to a specific country. I don't know whether that makes sense to you.
Yes.
Like the Kenyan law is different from the law in the American law. You understand?
Yes.
So now, if you want legal representation in Kenya,
yeah,
you have to know what procedure is followed in Kenya.
Yeah.
You understand? You have to know that the laws that are in place.
Yeah.
You don't, like, for example, in America, I don't know, people say you are served with divorce papers. You understand?
Yes.
In Kenya, there's nothing like that. You have to go for a full hearing.
Yeah.
So you have to be conscious that whichever country where you're instructing that particular lawyer from that country, you have to understand that advocate has to follow the procedure that is laid down in that country, and it takes time. You see, yeah. TV time may seem to be short, yes. But you see, it's the real world. It may take time.
Yeah. And how has social media impacted your work? Does it make it any easier, harder, or it doesn't matter really?
I would say it has made it quite easy. It has made it quite easy and very cost effective, because now the law has changed. You're even allowed to serve somebody papers via WhatsApp.
Yeah.
Nice. When now in the previous years, you will be required to look for somebody physically, which also takes up a lot of time and a lot of money, or serve them through the post office, which also is money, you understand?
Yes.
But now electronic service, you see, it's instant.
Yes.
I would say it has changed, even in terms of marketing. At least you're able to reach clients faster. And put your business out there and communicate whatever you need to communicate. It has made it easier.
Oh, thanks. Anything else you want to add?
I would like to tell people not to take shortcuts.
Yeah.
And just whoever they take up as their legal counsel, or just request that they heed to whatever that legal counsel is telling them.
Yeah.
Because it's good, because most of the time people want instant results, and life is not like that.
Yes. Oh my God, thank you, Sana Margaret. Thank you.
You're welcome.